I am so excited to be joined by Professor Scarlet Keys at the Berklee College of Music. Also, can I just say, this has nothing to do with the interview, but how cool that your name is Scarlet Keys and you're a professor at Berklee College of Music. That was the first thing I noticed before any of this happened. I was like, what a cool name.
Thank you.
We're here to also talk about something equally as cool as your name. We're here to talk about Taylor Swift. Getting married is the only thing on everybody's feeds right now. It's going to be the only thing on everyone's minds, at least for the next few days. I mean, I think it's the moment Swifties have been waiting for. Taylor literally went from so high school to so married, and the Swifties just don't know what to do with themselves. Today's a big day.
Yes.
So now we know typically Taylor Swift writes love songs, right? She writes about finding the one and everybody can relate to that. But now she's got the ring. Okay, so how do we think that that's going to change her style? Do we think it's going to change her style in terms of what she writes about?
Well, the wonderful thing about Taylor Swift is she's always changing her style. And now she can shift the focus of her topic from finding love and losing love to navigating love. And that's going to be albums of, how do we navigate love? Now that we found it, how do we keep it alive? How do we keep the sparkle? How do we keep it going? And hopefully, and not to throw motherhood her way, but obviously being a mother is a huge creative act. And she's such a creative person. And once we have even the attempt of motherhood or motherhood, so many other, song topics come to life. And I would love to hear what she has to say about love, navigating love, and also possibly motherhood.
And to your point, I think that even in exploring that new topic, right, it will continue to help her do what she has done so well as an artist. And that's cross over all of the generations, right? Because it's not just the teens who like her, the moms like her, auntie likes her, right? Just from 0 months
Yeah.
to 90, everybody likes Taylor. And I think that, opening up that avenue about her writing about her love, helping that love to flourish, and then potentially motherhood, which, again, the Swifties would just love. They're probably already thinking about baby names, but it will be it will be very interesting to see
Mhm.
how that helps her to develop, because it will in some way that we just don't know yet.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's so fiercely connected to literature. She's such an avid reader. And when we think about all of the Jane Austen stories, all the stories end with engagement. And we're not ending with engagement. We're starting with engagement and we're going to find out like what is her married life going to be? What is that going to be like for her and all of her hopeful romantics as they navigate love and their hope for finding the one and making it last.
Yes, we do love love, and we love the hope. And this is all happening just in time for football season. So tell me, what do you think? Any chance of a Super Bowl performance?
Well, I mean, 100%, especially with Showgirl coming out. I mean, when you think about halftime shows, I could just see it now. It seems like she dropped some Easter eggs about that on her last podcast episode when she was speaking about Super Bowls. And yeah, there's some fan theories that she dropped a mess of Easter eggs in the New Heights podcast. And so I think that that would be a really great decision. I think it'd be really fun to see.
And I do think too, on the podcast, it was really fun learning about how Travis had to try again, because he had a plan. He thought it was great. He was like, I've got this friendship bracelet, but mine has my number on it. And like, I've got this in the bag. And she was like, no, sorry, don't have time. And then he, in her words, he was a little man hurt about that and brought it to the podcast. So it's just funny that it all comes full circle now because of her appearance on the
Yeah.
podcast with Travis and his brother. So I thought that that was very cute. I think that the moral of the story is, fellas, shoot your shot. Try again. Look at Travis.
100%. Absolutely. You never know. It
Now,
never
I
hurts to ask. Always ask, right?
always ask, okay, if the men take away anything, because the ladies and the Swifties, we're taking a lot away from it. But if the men take anything from it, that's what they should take away from it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we don't ever want to think about this, but do you think that Taylor will ever stop putting out albums now that she's married?
No, no. She is just such a creative force. And we all are as human beings. Like, we're just meant to be creative. And I think she processes so much of her life through her writing. She's always processing her life and sharing her vulnerability and letting her fans sort of look at their own lives and their own struggles through her writing. No, I don't think she'll ever stop. No.
I mean, we don't want that, but we've got to entertain. We've got to talk about it. I've got to ask you. Now we know attention to celebrities, especially at her status, right? Taylor Swift is a mega star. Attention for celebrities at that level is not anything new. But what do you think it is that helps the excitement continue to build? Because it's hard for any celebrity to be able to maintain and hold, to have the endurance. It's easy to be big initially, but Taylor's done a good job of being able to hold on to that for a long time.
Yeah. I've as someone who wrote a course on her songwriting, not as a literary class, but as an actual songwriting class, and pulling back the curtain on what is she doing consistently that's connecting with a global audience. And I would say she's her vulnerability. She leads with her vulnerability. And when any of us share our lives and our struggles like that, we're not on the pedestal. We're on the footstool with everyone else. And we're relatable and we can also help other people navigate what they're going through. I mean, we're all just human beings. And she happens to be a little bit more perfect looking than some of us, but she is a human being at the end of the day, and she's sharing what it's like to be human and to navigate public scrutiny and believing in yourself no matter what.
Yeah, I will say the relatability and the authenticity.
Yeah,
It'll bring you back every time.
every time.
Now, we talked about Easter eggs, you mentioned a few moments ago. Do we think there's anything specific about this date that they announced that they're engaged?
I think that remains to be seen. She's oh, nothing is haphazard with Taylor Swift.
Right,
So
right.
that might be revealed. There's something special about it for her, and I can't wait to hear what her response is to that.
Okay. Now, and to follow up with that, they've been together for about 2 years, very much in the spotlight, although trying to enjoy some private moments to themselves. But as you can imagine, it's hard to do that as Taylor Swift. I mean, Travis Kelce too, in his own right, right? They've each picked up fans on each side. But why do you think they picked now to get engaged?
I think in everybody's life you just reach a moment where you go, it's time. And this is the one. And this feels so, I mean, they both had a lot of experience. And I think when you meet somebody who lets you fully be yourself and you can finally exhale, you just go, yeah, this is the one and let's do it. Life is short.
Yep, that's what we all want. So we are rooting for Taylor. Taylor's got the ring. She's got the man. Our English teacher and our gym teacher finally are getting ready to say I do. We love to see it, as she said in her caption.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to include for the Swifties that I didn't ask you specifically?
I've just loved looking at the themes that she tackles as a songwriter, and I think about how on her first record she wrote a song titled The Best Day, where she talked about how her mom took her shopping after she had had a day of sort of being rejected by her friends at school. And I think about what is the song going to be like when she writes a song about her child or her child through her mother's eyes. I mean, I just think it's going to be a whole nother level of crying for us. And I just can't wait for her to sort of peel back the layers of motherhood and navigating marriage. And if she doesn't choose to be a mother, I'm sure she'll be an auntie or some sort of maternal influence in the world, and she'll write about that. But I want to see her story shift and see where it takes us. And it's fine to be happy. Let's have some of those land. And there's other things to write about. And shake it off. She navigated public scrutiny and in much of her work through her record where she, Are You Ready for It? All of those things in her comeback record. She really showed us how to take criticism and embrace it and stand taller. So there's already been a lot of her navigating different topics for us, but I'm really excited to see where this all takes us. And I love how much sparkle and enthusiasm you're bringing to this interview. And I tend to be a little bit more of a nerd, kind of going in and analyzing things, but she just has astonished me. I've been teaching for 23 years and I learned so much by analyzing what she does as a writer. It's really been astonishing.
And I think it's really fun to hear when you hear a professor at one of the top schools in terms of music instruction say, I'm excited
Yeah.
about Taylor Swift. Like that also says something.
Yeah. Because, I've had students that have gone through the curriculum, graduated, and then come back and taken the Taylor Swift class and gone, oh my God, there's so much more to learn. And I go, I know. She uses every literary device there is constantly. Every writer, you'll hear Beyonce use it, you'll hear Stevie Wonder, but she uses them consistently. And then we got to look at how does she create earworm hooks that we can't stop singing? How does she fill stadiums like that and still bond with her audience? A lot like Beyonce, I would say. We should have a whole class, and we do. We have a whole class about the music of Beyonce, but these are two icons that are consistently connecting with their global audience, and there's a lot to learn from
No,
both
I'm sure
of
those
them.
classes are amazing. Anytime you get into the process of the art, it's always very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Professor Scarlet Keys of the Berklee College of Music, I'm glad we got to talk a little Taylor Swift with you. This was fun. I'm sure it won't be the last time we talk to you about it because we've got an album on October 3rd, and if, football season starts September 4th, right? Somewhere in there, there'll be more going on. So we'll be back.
Yeah, I cannot wait to hear what she's doing on this next record and to take a deep dive into the DNA of her writing and she's working with Max Martin, the Swedish legend, and it's just going to be, I know sonically it's going to be phenomenal, and I can't wait to hear what she has to say, and we're all excited about it. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Until our next conversation. I'm not going to say goodbye. I'm going to say until our next conversation.
Hey, you got it.
Professor Keys, thank you.
Thank you.